Imagine looking into the depths of space and discovering a world that appears almost peaceful. A planet glowing with a deep blue color. A planet that, from a distance, seems strangely familiar. At first glance, it could even remind you of Earth. But appearances can be deceiving, because this beautiful blue world is one of the most hostile places ever discovered. A place where temperatures can melt metal, where winds move faster than the speed of sound, and where rain does not fall as water, but as tiny shards of glass. This is HD 189733b, a planet located far beyond our solar system, roughly 64 light-years away from Earth in the constellation Vulpecula. The journey to this world would take tens of millions of years using today's technology. Yet, despite this enormous distance, scientists have managed to uncover some of its secrets. The story of HD 189733b began in 2005 when astronomers detected a massive planet orbiting a distant star. It belongs to a class of worlds known as exoplanets, planets that orbit stars beyond our Sun. At the time, thousands of exoplanets had not yet been discovered. Each new finding offered a glimpse into worlds unlike anything known in our own solar system. But HD 189733b quickly stood out from the crowd, not because it was the largest, not because it was the most distant, but because it was one of the strangest. The planet is similar to Jupiter, the largest planet in our solar system. However, unlike Jupiter, it orbits extremely close to its parent star. So close, in fact, that a full year on HD 189733b lasts just a little over 2 Earth days. Imagine a planet racing around its star at incredible speed, completing an orbit before a weekend on Earth has even passed. This extreme proximity exposes the planet to intense radiation and heat, conditions so severe that they transform its atmosphere into something almost unimaginable. Yet when astronomers observed the planet, what caught their attention was not its heat, it was its color. Against the darkness of space, HD 189733b appeared as a deep, brilliant blue. For a moment, it seemed almost inviting, almost beautiful. But the more scientists studied this distant world, the more unsettling the truth became. The blue color was not a sign of oceans. There were no peaceful seas, no rivers, no clouds carrying life-giving rain. Instead, hidden beneath that beautiful appearance was a violent and deadly environment unlike anything found on Earth. A world where nature operates under completely different rules. A world that challenges our understanding of what a planet can be. And as researchers continued to investigate HD 189733b, they uncovered a reality far stranger than anyone expected. A reality that would reveal one of the most terrifying weather systems ever discovered in the universe. And it all begins with the mystery behind that beautiful blue color. When astronomers first observed HD 189733b, one feature immediately stood out: its color. Against the darkness of space, the planet appeared as a deep and vibrant blue. It was a color that seemed strangely familiar. After all, Earth also looks blue when viewed from space. Our planet earns this appearance from its vast oceans, which cover more than 70% of its surface. So when scientists saw the blue glow of HD 189733b, a natural question emerged. Could this distant world also contain oceans? Could there be vast bodies of water hidden beneath its atmosphere? The answer was no, and the truth turned out to be far more disturbing. HD 189733b is not a water world. In fact, it is far too hot for liquid water to exist in any Earth-like form. The planet orbits extremely close to its parent star, receiving enormous amounts of energy every second. Temperatures can exceed 1,000 degrees Celsius. That is hot enough to melt many metals and destroy most materials we use on Earth. No ocean could survive under such conditions. No coastline, no rivers, no blue seas stretching across the horizon. So where does the planet's blue color come from? Scientists believe the answer lies high in its atmosphere. The atmosphere of HD 189733b contains tiny particles made of silicates. On Earth, silicates are common ingredients in rocks and sand. But on this planet, extreme temperatures and powerful atmospheric processes keep these particles suspended high above the clouds. When light from the star passes through the atmosphere, the tiny particles scatter shorter blue wavelengths more effectively than other colors. As a result, the planet reflects a rich blue hue into space. From millions of kilometers away, this scattering effect creates the illusion of a calm blue world. But it is only an illusion. Beneath that beautiful appearance lies an environment of unimaginable violence. The planet is believed to be tidally locked. This means one side constantly faces its star, while the other remains in permanent darkness. Just as the moon always shows the same face to Earth, HD 189733b presents the same face to its star. The consequences are extreme. The day side is blasted by relentless heat and radiation. Meanwhile, the night side remains much cooler. This enormous temperature difference creates instability throughout the atmosphere. Energy is constantly trying to move from the scorching day side to the cooler night side, and that process drives some of the most powerful weather systems ever detected on a planet. The blue color that once seemed inviting is actually a warning that this world is nothing like Earth. No oceans, no beaches, no signs of life as we know it. Only a turbulent atmosphere filled with scorching heat and airborne particles. And soon, scientists discovered that these particles were capable of creating something even more terrifying. Because on HD 189733b, the weather does not bring water, it brings glass.
On Earth, rain is a familiar part of life. Water evaporates from oceans, lakes, and rivers. It rises into the atmosphere, cools, forms clouds, and eventually falls back to the ground as rain. It is a cycle that sustains nearly all life on our planet. But on HD 189733b, nature follows very different rules. There, the atmosphere is so hot and violent that one of the most common weather events on Earth becomes something terrifying. Instead of water, the sky may rain glass. To understand how this happens, we first need to look at the planet's atmosphere. Scientists believe that the atmosphere contains large amounts of silicate particles. On Earth, silicates are found in rocks, sand, and minerals. Under normal conditions, they remain solid, but HD 189733b is anything but normal. Temperatures on the planet can exceed 1,000 degrees Celsius. At such extreme temperatures, silicate materials can vaporize and become part of the atmosphere itself. Imagine rocks turning into vapor and rising into the sky. As these materials are carried higher into the atmosphere, conditions begin to change. The vapor cools, tiny particles start to form, clouds develop. But these are not clouds made of water droplets. They are clouds filled with microscopic silicate particles, and eventually, gravity begins to pull those particles downward. This is where things become truly extraordinary. On Earth, rain falls vertically toward the ground, but on HD 189733b, powerful atmospheric winds dramatically alter the process. Scientists estimate that winds on the planet can reach thousands of kilometers per hour. As a result, the falling silicate particles are blasted sideways across the atmosphere. Instead of gentle rainfall, the planet may experience vast storms of glass moving at incredible speeds. Imagine countless sharp particles racing through the air, faster than many military aircraft. Any object exposed to such conditions would face constant erosion. Over time, the atmosphere itself becomes a giant natural sandblaster. And unlike storms on Earth, these conditions may not be temporary. The extreme heat from the star and the planet's unusual environment can drive continuous weather activity on a global scale. In some regions, the sky may never truly become calm. There is no shelter from the storm, no safe season, no peaceful weather forecast, only an endless cycle of heat, turbulence, and airborne glass. What makes HD 189733b especially fascinating is that this phenomenon was not imagined by science fiction writers. It emerged from real scientific observations and atmospheric models. The planet demonstrated that worlds beyond our solar system can behave in ways that seem almost impossible from an earthly perspective. A blue planet, a beautiful appearance, and a sky filled with glass. Yet even this incredible weather system is not the most extreme feature of HD 189733b, because the same forces that create these glass storms also generate something even more powerful. Winds so fast that they can circle the planet at speeds far beyond anything ever recorded on Earth. The glass storms of HD 189733b are terrifying, but they are not the planet's most extreme feature, because this world is also home to some of the fastest winds ever detected on any planet. On Earth, even the strongest hurricanes rarely exceed 300 kilometers per hour, powerful enough to destroy cities and reshape entire coastlines. But on HD 189733b, such storms would seem insignificant. Scientists estimate that winds on this planet can reach speeds of around 8,000 kilometers per hour. That is faster than the speed of sound in Earth's atmosphere. But what creates such extraordinary winds? The answer lies in the planet's unusual orbit. HD 189733b is believed to be tidally locked. One side always faces its star, while the other remains in permanent darkness. As a result, the day side is constantly heated to extreme temperatures, while the night side remains much cooler. This enormous temperature difference creates a continuous flow of energy across the planet. The atmosphere is constantly trying to move heat from the scorching day side to the cooler night side. And in the process, it generates colossal winds that race around the globe. Scientists have even observed evidence that these winds are powerful enough to shift heat away from the point directly facing the star, a sign of just how violent the planet's atmosphere truly is. If a spacecraft attempted to enter this world, it would face an environment unlike anything in our solar system. Extreme heat, violent turbulence, crushing pressures, and clouds filled with glass particles moving at tremendous speeds. For humans, survival would be impossible. There is no breathable air, no solid surface, and no escape from the relentless storms. HD 189733b
is not simply an inhospitable planet. It is one of the most hostile worlds ever discovered, a place where glass storms and supersonic winds combine to create a planetary nightmare unlike anything found on Earth. HD 1899733b is one of the most extreme planets ever discovered. A world of scorching heat, supersonic winds, and skies that may rain glass. Yet this hostile planet has taught scientists something remarkable. The universe is far stranger than we once imagined. For centuries, we knew only the planets in our own solar system. But the discovery of exoplanets revealed worlds unlike anything we had ever seen. And HD 1899933b was one of the first to show just how bizarre these distant planets can be. By studying its atmosphere, scientists are learning how planets form, evolve, and survive under extreme conditions. Knowledge that may one day help us find worlds capable of supporting life. But perhaps the most fascinating lesson comes from its appearance. From a distance, HD 1899933b looks like a beautiful blue jewel floating through space. Yet beneath that beauty lies a world of relentless heat, violent storms, and flying glass. A reminder that appearances can be deceiving, not only on Earth, but across the universe. And if a planet this terrifying exists just 64 light-years away, one question remains. What other nightmares are hiding in the darkness between the stars?